we're here with Deborah Bauer today from West End Boutique. So, Deborah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you here. So, we're just going to kind of dive right in. Tell us a little bit about West End and what your role is there. And,
So West End is a family-owned business. There's pretty much 3 of us that really run the heart of it, and then we got a bunch of employees. We started back in, 2010, it kind of became like an idea, and then 2011, it was really official. So we've been in business just as long as you've been in real estate then,
That's
I guess.
crazy.
Yeah. Like 13, 14 years,
Yeah.
something like that.
have you had a storefront that whole time?
Yeah, so
Okay.
in 2011, we actually opened in Albany.
Oh, okay.
Really tiny. Like, I swear it was like 2 of these rooms. It was so small. And it was just all glass front, so it was really hard to display anything. Really, really small. It grew. So I think we were there for like a year, maybe 2 years, and we went into an old Kay's Jewelers spot.
Oh,
Or maybe it was Fred Meyer Jewelers. I'm pretty sure it was Kay's, though. So that was an awkward spot right after that. Just right across the food court, still in Albany. And then I think, I don't know what, I can't even remember the year. It's so long ago now. It feels like it's all 1 year. But we just decided to expand. We went to Lancaster Mall.
Okay.
After that,
when Lancaster Mall was still
when it was
here?
an actual mall.
Yeah.
We actually got out of Lancaster Mall right when they started to shift
Yeah.
and become like an outdoor mall. So we went from there. We left Albany, actually. So we left Albany, went to Lancaster. Then we went to Salem Center.
Okay.
Then we opened another store. We went to Portland. And now we have one in Eugene.
Wow.
In Woodburn.
Whoa, I didn't
Staten.
know that.
So we closed the Clackamas one, though, because it just wasn't working out for us, that one. But we've got 4 now.
I
so,
didn't realize that.
yeah.
How'd you guys get into this business?
So my parents have actually been in retail pretty much their whole lives. Like, I think they started when my sister was like a baby, and she's, I think, 30. Actually, I have no idea how
You're
old
like,
she
I
is.
think my sister's
I
30.
think she's 30. I'm pretty sure we're all in the 30s now. So
Just say ish. 30-ish.
Well, yeah. If you range from like 30 to 35, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your parents opened the store when your sister was a baby or started
Oh,
doing
yeah.
retail?
Yes, they actually started a men's clothing store.
Okay.
Way back in Lancaster. Like when Lancaster was brand new. It was actually called Safari Shirts.
Wait a minute. Why do I remember that?
So it was a very kind of nature-y, like we carried like big hairy dog. We carried like back in the day, like they wore like lizards on their shirts.
Yeah.
We had
Like
lizards.
the geckos
Yes.
and everything.
Yes, we had all that stuff. We had puka shell necklaces, all that kind of stuff. And then while we were there, my mom actually, I think she always wanted a girl store. So right next door, there was like a little pop-up store available. And so she opened a store called Daisy.
Okay.
And it was really little. She just did it temporary just to feel it out. And then we went from the Safari Shirts. We were there for, I think, a really, really long time. I actually have no idea because I was teeny, so I don't remember that. I remember being there probably when I was like 10.
Okay.
And because I can remember, it looked like you walked into the jungle. Like my dad did displays that were like a forest, like stuff like this, and there was lizards on like the display counter and like everything, fake lizards, of course.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. And he had like a gigantic wood rhino carved. Like he had someone carve him a giant wood rhino, probably from that wall to here. It was massive in the very front of our store. Just very cool, very down to earth. And then they went from that to a skate shop, and it was called Fuel.
Okay.
Okay.
Fuel Munition. So we had a skate shop, so we were really into all things skate, motocross, just all that stuff. We wore, Metal Militia was, or
Yeah.
we had all that kind of stuff.
Oh, no
Let's-
way.
yeah.
And that was in Lancaster Mall?
So
or?
we had 8 stores. So that one was
Whoa.
everywhere. We literally were in, I think, Bend. We were in Washington, and then 2008 happened.
Yeah.
Nothing was fun about 2008.
Yeah.
So once 2008 hit, we had to make a massive change, a massive transition. So we were like, what can we do? And my mom was like, I loved having that one girls store. Girls always shop. That's
Yeah.
never gonna
Yeah.
go, that's never gonna go
That
away.
never goes out of style. Yeah.
I shop 24/7. As soon as I hit the sack, I'm on my phone shopping. And I work in retail. So we were like, let's do something else. This 2008 happened and it just wasn't working out anymore. Skate was starting to go away, transitioning, all that stuff. So we headed into a girls store. My mom was like, hey, let's call it West End. We are on the West Coast.
Okay.
All that stuff. That's where kind of West End came into it. And so my mom was like, let's get this going. And I was there from the start. So in 2011, how old was I?
How old are you now?
I'm almost 35.
Almost 30. Oh, you're just a baby. Oh my gosh. I feel so old now.
You know what's funny though? I was actually doing a video the other day and I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to be 34 this year. And then Luke, my husband, was like, no, you're not. You are 34. And I was
You're
like,
oh.
wait, I'm going to be 35?
It gets harder as you get older just to remember.
I was
like
depressed.
It does. I know.
Yeah, that was a little disheartening, honestly.
I know.
I was bummed.
I said one time something about I was like, oh, and then I'm going to be 29. And my daughter's like, you're going to be 28. And I'm like, wait, why am I adding years? Like, I'm trying to like jump ahead. I didn't lose a year. I'm like adding years.
But that's actually kind of better because then you're like, oh, yes.
Like, I'm so surprised. I'm a year
years old,
younger.
I thought. So, no, that's great. I always thought the best year was 26. If I could be 1 year, I'd be 26 forever.
Just all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's old enough where you're not getting really charged heavy on insurance.
Yeah, you could rent things.
Yeah.
You could do whatever you want.
You're like a grown-up, but you're still young. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So how does that transition happen? Because when I see like a clothing store and all of a sudden their clothes like, oh, they must have went under, they're bankrupt, they're never going to come out again, and then all of a sudden there's a new store. You guys are able to just transition when you see this is trending be a certain way and you need to get out of it, change the way you do things.
Yeah, so thankfully my parents are very good at it. Since they've been doing it for so long, they're just watching the market, and just seeing, hey, we can tell maybe it's our store's getting slower. We can notice our customers aren't as interested in this stuff anymore. And then, social media comes into play, right? So social media really started kind of around then, and we can see what was trending online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, our stuff isn't really trending anymore. So what is? And we noticed a big hit for like girls stuff. Girls stuff was really good. There was, when I was little, the only place I shopped at was like Nordstrom, and it was way too expensive. Like my parents could not afford it. So, we went to like Gap or Old Navy. Love them both. But that's not as, I wouldn't say it's super trendy clothing.
It's a different experience too.
It is. Yeah. So my mom's like, we need something more boutique-y. And at that time around in Oregon, there was no really boutiques in the malls.
Mm-hmm.
There's like...
You had like the big name stores. Like Macy's, JCPenney.
Yeah. Ross.
Yeah.
So, we were like, we need something we could tell. Our girls' stuff in our store always did better, though, than men's. Men don't like to shop as much, It's hard to get a guy to go out alone.
Yeah.
So it was usually the girls that would be coming in and even buying the men's clothes for their boyfriend, husband, or whatever. So we're like, okay, we need to take a shift. 2008 was happening, the whole everything was crashing. We're like, something needs to change. We were slowing down. And my mom thought of the idea of doing West End. So
that's crazy. So they're really good at paying attention to where attention is. Like they're really good at kind of like monitoring where people are spending their energy and their money and everything. That's awesome.
So you kind of model the clothes that you bring in to kind of what kind of trends in the Northwest?
Yeah, so what's kind of crazy is actually when we started in about 2011, turquoise was out of control popular.
I used to love turquoise.
Yes, turquoise, everything.
Yeah.
Cheetah print, zebra print, everything, like massive turquoise things, and it was huge. And sometimes I get flashbacks on my phone. I'm like, what was I wearing? Like
and the big chunky necklaces.
Yes.
Oh, we love those.
Oh, we sold the crap out of those things. It's just like, and then it starts to go away, right? Yeah. And so you have to, when you're in the fashion industry, you have to constantly watch. And another thing is we look to our like vendors for see what they're starting to all sell. If one vendor starts to sell this look and then they all start to, obviously that's going towards that way. Mm-hmm. And we use social media, girls, to help us. We watch, we follow, influencers and all these things. What are they showing? What are they promoting? Like the tumbler cup. Like, holy moly, the tumbler cup was like, the Stanley Cup was out of control, right?
Yeah, that's gotten crazy.
Well, yeah. And you know who made that popular? Influencers. They made that popular. So, we're like, crap, we need to jump on that bandwagon. So we got Stanley dupes. It's just things like that. So when you got to watch the trends and then you change and you adapt and you do it. I hope we never have to go back to men's clothing, honestly. You're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to do that.
As long as you have like a hat section or something, just so I can just buy a hat every once in a while.
I mean, we do have men come in, but they're shopping for their wives or whatever, and I feel bad because they are super awkward. Yeah. And so we do our best to help them, but it's so funny. It's just...
I'm that guy, too.
You're that guy?
Yeah.
So when you're in there for Carrie, you're like, just give me a gift card.
I don't even try.
I I need a really nice gift card, like really pretty box. Like,
That's awesome. Oh, I love that. Yeah, we usually just suggest a gift card because most of the time it's really sad. The guys will get their wives or girlfriend something for Christmas and it always comes back. The wife comes back and it's really sad. They're like, my husband tried.
like he tried so hard. It's like you open it and you're like, oh, thanks.
3 sizes too small.
Yeah, that's great. Is this what you wish I look like? No.
No, it is hard. It's difficult. So
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you guys have 4 locations, is that what you said? Okay. So tell me a little bit about, you guys opened up in Salem Center, then what year was it?
I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. I'm not
Okay.
positive.
Okay. And you guys are up at the top across from Journeys. What used to be there? I'm trying to remember what used to be there.
Well, Nordstrom used to be in that massive
Yeah.
opening. So I think it goes Journeys, then now it's a arcade.
Mm-hmm.
I think it
It
was
used
a
to be like a
jewelry
Harry
store.
Ritchie's
Or
or
was
something.
it? Yeah, it was a jewelry
yeah.
store. Okay. So, but I think Journeys is still there.
Yeah, Journeys is still there. I was trying to remember what was where you guys used to be.
Oh, yeah. I think a bridal shop was there for a little bit. And then I think Aeropostale, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Something
it
like
was.
that.
Yeah.
Or PacSun. One of those.
PacSun, I think, was further down.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it might have been like an Aeropostale or something.
Okay, I think you're right. So from there, you guys had your boutique there. Of course, Albany was still doing well. So you have Albany, Eugene. Was Eugene before the one in Salem?
So when we opened Salem Center, we actually didn't have Albany anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Salem Center was really our first massive store.
Like your flagship.
Yep.
Yep.
It was the one that said, "Hey, this is working. Let's expand."
Okay.
So then we went to, I think we went to Eugene next. I'm pretty sure we went to Eugene, and then we went to Portland, and then we went to Woodburn, closed Portland, and now we're in Staten.
So how did you make that jump from we're in Salem, we're going to go Eugene? Because that's like a big spread.
Right. So we could see how popular we were and how well we were doing, and we're like, okay, it's time to expand.
Yeah.
It's doing well enough that we felt confident enough to try another location. And Eugene's actually really big, so we felt Eugene alone could support a store.
Okay. Awesome.
So
Is there like a honeymoon phase with some of these stores when they first open that they're super popular?
Oh, of course.
And it tapers off?
Everybody's super excited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like, for example, like when we opened in Woodburn, actually, that's a story because we opened in 2020. So that
Okay.
was scary.
Oh.
So I'll use Eugene first because that's
Okay.
a whole
Yeah,
nother
let's go
story.
Eugene first.
So you open Eugene and we are brand new. Everyone loves, and we have very great prices. So our prices are
Your
extremely
prices are
affordable.
amazing.
Yeah. Really good pricing. Janelle, that's my mom. She completely focuses on having, if I'm not going to spend that on that, I don't want anybody else to spend that on that.
That's awesome.
So that's her whole
And
thing
it's good
about that.
quality stuff too.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going in somewhere and it's like this like, okay, I can wear it once and then like
Yeah.
toss it sort of thing. Like it's good quality.
It's really nice stuff. Yeah. So we open Eugene. Everyone's stoked, super excited. It lasts about a year. And then we stay popular, but then, someone else new comes in. And they take a little bit of that shine away. But we've done very well at just transitioning, bringing in new products. You have to bring in new product because we're fast fashion. So you have to constantly bring it in, remove it, bring it in, remove it. Because if you just stay stagnant, you're done.
So how
It's
often
over.
do you switch out inventory then? Like
Every week.
Every week you're
So-
bringing in new stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Every week we bring in new product. So we bring it in. The other stores are way bigger. So like Staten, for example, is miniature. Like tiny. So
It feels big though when you get in there. It's like there's so much. I don't know how you guys organized everything like so well because you feel like, oh, I'm just gonna make like a little loop around, and then you're like, I didn't see this. I didn't
know.
see this. Yeah.
yeah. So my dad, his name is John, he actually does all the design work.
Okay.
So he builds the stores, makes it look exactly the way they are. He is the total design guy.
visionary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my mom styles it.
Okay.
So, well, my mom and I guess.
Yeah.
So we do that together, and it's really a team effort, 100%. So, but it's tiny. So, but
It
for me,
doesn't
it
feel
feels
that
miniature.
tiny. Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't get in my stock in here. So at Staten, we try to rotate product every day.
Okay.
Every couple of days, get something new because when you have such a small store in a small community, the same people are coming in. So
They
you
wanna
gotta
see
switch it
something
out.
different. Yeah.
Versus when you have a big store like Salem, you get a lot of customers and they're constantly buying this stuff. So it's easier to fill back in. Just fill it in constantly.
So tell me about the Staten location. You guys opened that. Have you been there a little over
year.
a year? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember all of a sudden it was like I walked by and nothing's there, and one day it's like, wait a minute, I know that name.
Mhm.
Did they? And so in my head, I'm like, did they close the Salem location? I'm like, and move out to Staten? Like, what happened?
No, so Staten's actually a funny story. So we had our warehouse in a random empty spot at the Salem Center Mall.
Okay.
So we had the store upstairs and we were using a spot down below just to store our stuff. It was awful. It was awful because you had to ask permission to get into the mall. We had to use elevators to move our stock, and it was just a pain. It
Yeah.
was no fun, and it was just, the environment just became not friendly for us for that. Plus, my mom and dad want to be closer to home, and Staten is our home. So we've born and raised there, grew up there, went to school, everything. So let's get a warehouse in Staten. We were trying to find, we've been looking for, so if we opened last year, we had been looking for about 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Nothing was coming up. We actually attempted 2 places and fell through. Just never worked out. We tried to get one place over by, what's that boating? It's on Golf Club Road. Craftsman's or something. There's like a...
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Smoker Craft.
Smoker
Yeah.
Craft,
So we were going to rent, I think, a warehouse right next to them, but it smelled so toxic. We're like, nope, all of our clothes will be...
All the clothes would stink.
Yeah, all the clothes would be ruined. So that fell through, and they told us it would be fine. We went in there and walked around. It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh. So then one day, my dad was just driving around, and he saw them working on the space we're in now. Walked in, construction workers were just in there walking in. He's like, hey, what's going on with this place? And they told him, and they gave us Julie Boxler's phone number.
Okay.
So do you know who she
Yeah.
is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So good. We're on the same page then. He called her, and he's like, yeah. Or she's like, we're just renovating it, and I'm trying to lease it out. Yes. It worked out. We were so stoked. She actually originally wanted to use it for the food trucks.
Okay.
So they could open up the big, huge garage doors, and then the people could go in and sit when it was raining or whatever.
Okay.
We had a total different vision.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
didn't want it for that at all. And she was like, sure, let's go for it. So we did it, and then literally signing contracts, all that stuff. She's like, oh, wait, you actually have to have 15% storefront. And we were like, what? Wait, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, you have to have
Is
a
it
retail
like city
store.
code or
Yeah.
something? Okay.
Or maybe it's that area, not
Yeah.
positive. I think she owns a couple of those buildings.
Mhm.
So, and we were like, shoot, what are we going to do?
And you're like, we're here at the signing table. Like,
Yeah, we're like, okay, how can we make this work? And so they built that little tiny area for us. They made it work, and we're like, okay, that's all we can give up of the warehouse.
Yeah.
It's exactly 15%, I think, like the minimum that we are allowed to have. So we did it. We took all of our stuff from our Clackamas store that we closed, and we brought it there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had all the tables, we had all the fixtures, everything. We just reset it up. John built a dressing room, built a couple of dressing rooms because we actually needed to expand because it did so well. So now we have like curtains in the back. You've been to the back sale section?
So when I haven't been to the back sale section.
Okay.
So when I was in there, I think you guys had just opened, and I feel like I remember walking through. Wait, it was like all of your inventory was the back, and there was like one dressing room
Yeah.
that was right there. Was it 1 or 2?
So at the very beginning, we had one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember that, and it was just the curtain one, and I was like, I'll be back in a minute. I
Yep.
think one of my daughters was there with me, so.
Well, we originally weren't going to have a dressing room. Because
Okay.
we're like, we don't have this space for it. Staten, maybe they don't care about trying it on as much.
Because they could just go home.
Yeah,
and like,
that's what we were thinking. But
Yeah.
the amount of people that requested it and the amount of people that came in, holy moly, we were like, whoa. Okay, we need to make this a legit store.
Yeah.
We need to make it functional. A dressing room, a full-blown counter. We actually didn't have anywhere for a sale section. And all retail stores, mom and pops, have to have a sale area.
Yeah.
So we just bought some black curtains, and we opened up our warehouse door. So we have a little teeny door that goes into our main warehouse. We put some black curtains up, and we have a sale section in the back.
Okay.
So, and then we built another little dressing room back there because we needed 2.
So you guys are the only, I mean, if you're coming from like the Canyon area until you get to Salem, I mean, you guys are really like the only clothing shop there. And I know in years past, there's been like stores that have been there for a couple years in Staten, kind of off and on. But then when they went away, there was really like nothing.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go to Bi-Mart and
I
go buy
know.
some stuff.
I'm not going to lie. I think my grandma gets her jeans from Bi-Mart.
You know, a lot of people
I'm
get
sure.
stuff from Bi-Mart. I'm not
Yeah.
going to knock Bi-Mart.
I love Bi-Mart.
Yeah, I know.
Literally, so when I was little, so did you live in Sublimity, or
Yep.
you guys the
I
whole
grew
life?
up, yeah, born and raised in
So
Sublimity.
Jensen Kreitzer?
Yes!
That was the only
place
clothing
you
store.
could go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they left, I don't know when they left. They left a long time ago, and now that location is I don't know what
the
you call
Grove at the marketplace, yeah.
So it's like little booths inside
Yeah.
and stuff, but yeah, no clothes. And so it just all fell into our laps if you think about
That's
it.
awesome.
How is it trending with like compared to like a mall, like a downtown
Ooh,
like
good question.
boutique area?
So it's definitely more community based.
Okay.
It's more of our, which I'm so grateful for the state and community. It is them supporting us, helping us. You know, it has to be local support. We don't really have, you know, people aren't coming from another city to come to us in Staten. It's the local community. So when versus Salem, people go to a mall. A mall is a destination, right?
Yeah.
So people are already going there. So if they happen to walk by us, they're like, oh, hey, let's check this place out. That's not how it is in the Staten.
Yeah.
They have to want to be coming to you. They have to know about you and say, hey, we're going to just go shopping today at this specific location.
Yeah.
That's
But-
probably where your social media kind of
Yes.
helps, post those daily posts that you've been
Oh,
doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Reminding.
Your social media is amazing, by the way. Like, I love it. I'm like, if I could just get a little bit of like consistency and confidence, like a blend of those two, I was like, I would blow it out of the park. But you're on there all the time. I feel like anytime I'm scrolling through, like every few scrolls, there you are
Oh,
again.
that's
So
good.
it's
Well, I
awesome.
appreciate you seeing
Yeah.
that. You know what's funny about that, though, is growing up, I was not like the funny one in the family or like I was more of like the dud. My sisters
dud?
My sisters would say I was the more serious one.
Okay.
Like my sisters
More reserved.
would, yeah,
Yeah.
my sisters would joke around and watch SpongeBob and talk about pooping and farting and just giggle and laugh and laugh and laugh, and I'd always be like, "Be quiet! Like,
Yeah.
what are you guys?
What
You
is
guys are
wrong
annoying,
with you?"
like, right?" But then when it comes, then you know, we grew up, blah blah blah. So now I'm doing this, and my sister, who is the funny one growing up, the second she gets on camera, she is like,
Just stage fright.
"Oh yeah."
Just like,
It's just funny how it just
Yeah.
changed. Never would I thought I'd be the one getting on camera. I mean, when I first did it, I was scared.
no,
I
but
was
you're so natural at
scared.
it. Like it looks like it's interesting because watching it, it looks like you have everything kind of planned out. Like you're very systematic about what you're posting and what message you're trying to put out that day and everything like that. But at the same time, it also feels like it's very in the moment. And so it doesn't feel staged or anything like that. It almost feels like from an outsider looking in, you're like, oh, this would be great. I should share this. And then you
Yes.
just hit record. So I don't know if that's how
That's
it goes.
essentially what it is.
Okay.
Yes. I feel like the more real it is, the better it is. Like whenever I do my live videos, I'm selling live things, I make mistakes constantly. And I always try to remind my watchers, this is live. I'm human. I make mistakes. This is not pre-recorded. I can't say, let's cut to a commercial break real quick because I just completely messed up.
Pause, let's redo it.
Yeah. I just showed you guys the wrong item, told you the wrong price, everything. I just messed up.
I saw you
It's
just
okay.
posted something about like when you post a sale and then forget to put the
Yes.
yeah. I was like, oh, that's something I would do.
I have done that so many times, not with the sale we're running today, but I have done that. Now a customer will be like, hey girl, I can't, there's no code. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. Whoops, here's the code. So the email I blasted that morning just was pointless. It's like, well, I just sent an email out for no reason and forgot
Wait,
the
you
code.
have like an email blast that you do also in addition? Okay. So tell
Yeah.
us about what you do because I don't know much more outside of the social
so
media stuff.
I handle all social media, all marketing, and I'm like a partial buyer.
Yeah.
So pretty much on like my day-to-day basis is, you know, getting on social media, posting on social media. I send out sometimes every other day an email. So that just has, you know, new arrivals on it, coupons. It's like a newsletter kind of a thing.
I need to get on your newsletter.
Yeah, you do. Because we send out coupons like all the time.
How do
This
you
is
get
great.
on this newsletter?
I know. Tell me
Sign up
more.
via email. So if you actually head in store, we have like a sign up thing.
Okay.
So you can sign up in store.
Okay.
We're slowly transitioning into becoming more tech savvy with like our stuff. Like we just got a brand new computer system that actually can scan with a barcode scanner. Like, you know,
Okay.
we kept it old school. We would just type in your code and stuff, you know. It's hard to, why fix it if it's not broke?
Yeah.
Right? So it's
But
hard
and
to
it
move.
changes so fast. Like the technology, it's like it's hard to keep up with, it feels like.
Oh yeah, we had the same system for like 20 years. And then I was just like, times are changing. We need to like, so it's kind of me. I guess I would say I kind of pressured my mom and dad a little
You're
bit.
like,
to
it's 2024. We kind of got to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys do online sales too?
oh, you have a website.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have a website, westendboutique.com. And that's like our fifth store in a way. So,
Yeah.
So who handles that? Is that
Me.
you? Oh my gosh.
yeah.
When do you sleep?
I sleep from like 1 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
a.m. And that's
Okay.
about it.
And then in addition to that, you have 4 kids?
Yep.
Okay.
4 kids.
And you have your own business as well?
I have my own business as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Thankfully, my husband can handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in 2020, as once my daughter Evelyn got into school, I was able to fully commit to West End.
Okay.
I'm always been involved in whatever, but now I'm like 100% committed. And she's in her first year of school, but she went to daycare all year last year. So, and then at that point I was like, sorry, Luke, you're full blown our own business now. You got to handle it yourself now, because now I'm full West End.
I love it.
And so I've got dreams for West End.
So you mentioned 2020. So I'm curious with having a storefront. Of course, everybody knows what happened in 2020, and everything was just nice and shut down, couldn't go anywhere. It impacted you guys, obviously. Yeah. So, and it forced a lot of people. I feel like people went one of two ways. They either pivoted and they readjusted how they reached their clients and their audience and everything like that, or they were like, this is our sign, we're going to fold up shop.
So 2020 was very scary.
Yeah.
Extremely scary. So we've had a website consistently the entire time West End has been in business. It was never a priority, though, honestly. It was kind of like low man on the totem pole. It just, we'd add things.
You have it because you need it.
Yeah, we had it because we need it. It's hanging by a thread. 2020 came, and we had Salem Center and I think our Eugene store. And possibly Clackamas? I'm not sure. I can't quite remember. And we were just about to sign a contract for Woodburn Outlet. Literally. Then we signed it and we couldn't open. Spent all that money for 3 months, could not open. The store was ready to go, packed, full of merchandise, could not open the doors for 3 months.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
but you're paying the lease on it.
Oh, yeah. We didn't get a break there. We had to keep paying. So that was very difficult. And that's when our website took off. So thankfully, we already kind of had that, and it just blew up. The website went out of control. It went really well because people could buy online. We could ship it to them. No interaction, We don't have to communicate, talk to each other.
Just hands off, yeah.
It's hands off. It's good to go. And then people could still shop because, they weren't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They just busted out their phones or computer and started shopping. But for my own personal business, for mine and Luke's, it blew up. It was so good for us.
Well, everybody's home.
Yep, everybody was home.
They're all like, that fence is really ugly. We need to do something.
Yeah, and it was in the summertime, so everybody was outside. They were doing their yard work. So in two ways, it was good for us, and in one way, it was bad.
Yeah.
So for our family. So it was very scary. And then eventually when we got to open Woodburn, everybody flooded back in. And we were the cool new store, so it worked out for us.
There's all that pent-up demand because everybody's been home. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about your Salem store? How did that one... obviously, you guys were able to survive that, and you went to the online stuff. Did you see the same sort of... what am I trying to say? The same sort of drive for people coming back into your Salem store,
So
too?
I definitely think people wanted to come back. People definitely were like... Yeah, we're not staying home anymore.
Yeah.
We don't care what anybody's saying. We're going out.
Yeah.
So, and they wanted to go out. They wanted to go out and shop. Those girls were missing their new outfits. They were sad. I've had to wear the same outfit for 3 months now.
I've been in sweatpants for 3 months.
Yeah, they wanted to go out, and it worked out, and we had to follow a lot of rules that were dumb.
Yeah.
Can we cut that?
Yeah, no, they were dumb.
No, they were dumb.
They were
dumb. They were so dumb, and, we had to just deal with that, deal with employee things. And, it was it's difficult. Very difficult, especially when you have one opinion and someone else has another opinion. And that was hard.
That's hard as a business owner, too.
Did you have to start completely fresh with your employees, too? Or
No. Thankfully, they hung in there.
Okay.
There was really nowhere else for them to go.
Yeah.
They couldn't, leave and go get a job somewhere else. I don't even know if they were getting what kind of money they were getting. I think that you could... I can't remember. That was so long ago now, though. It feels like...
I feel like I blocked that part
I know.
out of my brain a little bit.
It's like that year didn't even exist.
It's almost that part where you can tell your grandkids about it.
Way back in 2020.
I know.
Back in my day.
Well, and it's true that I had just had a baby. So my daughter Evelyn was just a newborn. So that was just a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, we survived.
That's crazy.
I was scared because honestly, it was I thought it was like a 2008 all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, crap, we're done. That's it. I don't know how we can pay all these rents and have no income.
Mm-hmm.
It's but it was hard.
But you guys didn't, you didn't just survive it. You are one of the few businesses that were able to survive and thrive in it, too. So, and I think that's probably a testament to your parents and you, and being able to say okay, here's where we're at. We have to just shift the way that we're doing business. And I think the people that resisted that were the ones that really kind of didn't have a shot.
Yeah, I would definitely say I owed that all to my mom and dad, the experience and the knowledge. They knew what to do. They just, I don't know.
Awesome.
And I don't know how they hung in there. I would have been crapping my pants.
Yeah.
Be like,
It's over.
What are we
It's all
gonna-"
over.
Because
Yeah.
how many stores did you have at the...
Four,
Four?
I think. Well, so technically 3,
That's a lot of rent
until we
checks
opened.
there.
Yeah,
That is a lot.
it was a lot. It was a lot. And all the malls were closed. They wouldn't even let you go in. We couldn't even go in.
You couldn't
So-
even get to your own store?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So for a
crazy.
while, we weren't even allowed to go there. Well, you know, that they didn't even want people to go out in public. They said stay home.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't stay home. We did things.
Staten didn't stay home. No, I'm just...
No, I don't think it did. So, you know, but it worked out.
I love
And
it.
now we're growing.
So for your social media stuff, do you like take inspiration from other places, or how do you come up with the stuff that you're doing?
I actually don't.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
I may like, if I'm doing like outfit ideas, I'll kind of look at what's other influencers are doing.
Yeah.
Not other retailers, just like other influencers, and see what are they wearing. Okay, I'm gonna start showing pieces like that. But I don't really watch other people's. I mean, I've seen a couple other boutiques and they're really loud and they kind of like are way too much for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I definitely don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of thing. And a good thing about being a boutique is since I'm in control of what we share. For example, Old Navy, Target, those big box stores, they don't have like a, you know, it's not your friendly neighbor talking to you
Yeah.
on the camera. It's ads.
It's corporate.
Yeah, it's corporate. It's not relatable. So I guess that's where I would say like an edge up. Or
Mhm.
any other boutique in the world. They are more relatable.
Because you can
So-
choose what clothing is coming in, what's
Yep.
trending. You can choose that. Whereas, you know, Old Navy, it's like, this is Old Navy clothes.
Yep.
This is all we got. And when people stop buying our stuff because they don't like Old Navy anymore, there's nothing to do.
They kind of tend to stay the same trend. You know, they have the same look.
Yeah.
You know, it's always it's more conservative.
Yeah.
I definitely shopped at Old Navy a lot when I was younger, though.
I think we all
the
did.
time.
That was one of the only places it felt like.
Yeah, that's where my mom always got my school clothes.
Oh my gosh. Or the 4th of July stuff?
Oh yeah,
Oh, everybody had the Old Navy flags on everything. So
everybody did.
I think
So-
one of the cool things that I see you do too is it's not just posting all the stuff that you have for sale and stuff like that. You're interactive with it. So like I watch some of your like unboxing stuff, or when you're like shopping and you're like, which one should we buy? And then you like let the customer tell you what
Yeah.
they want, sort of thing.
We do that a lot, actually. We totally rely on the customers to tell us what they like, because the customers that are interacting are the ones who are shopping with us,
Yeah.
right? So I don't care about some person way in another country what they think, because they're not the one interacting with us and all that stuff. I need local people's opinion, and it's you and me. That's our style. That's who's shopping there. So I need the community to help me.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and then
very, very cool.
Janelle does all the buying. She's amazing. Well, I help buy, but she does like she's been buying for I don't know 30 years now, so she knows what she's doing. She probably could have went and worked for some massive corporate place, but
So do you find anybody coming in and trying to do what you're doing? Do you ever like find that somebody's trying to like, you know, oh, that's a really good idea. I should do this too.
Yeah.
Because that happens with every small business.
yeah. So when we first opened in Albany, I had a friend, and they tried to they shopped there for a while, and then they tried to go do their own thing, but online only, kind of. And that
Your
was
friend
before.
did?
Yeah, we were more like acquaintances,
Okay.
but friends.
They're definitely acquaintances.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Your acquaintances now.
But I would definitely say it kind of upset my mom, but I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not going to affect us. We can't control what other people do. We can only control what we're doing. I was like, don't worry about it. It didn't work out for that other person. But, and then we have, like, in Salem Center, there's actually another boutique that opened downstairs that I would say is kind of a competition. They sell more higher end stuff, though. Like, more expensive things, probably more, like, really name brand things. So, like, that happens. And, we just work around it. We move on, and we just continue. And we have had people in the past, like, come in, and they take pictures of our stuff, and then we see it at their place.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
but it happens. It's a competition, right?
I would be
kinda-
so mad. I'd be like, how dare you? Get out of my store. I'm watching
Well,
you.
we all boutiques tend to buy from the same vendor. So
Yeah.
I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
They were going to
sell
find it anyway.
Oh yeah, they were gonna find it anyway eventually, and take that as a compliment. They like
a
what
good way to
you're
look at
selling it.
Do you guys have an issue with like theft?
Oh gosh, it is unbelievable.
Really?
The
Probably
theft
in
is
Salem Center.
actually Woodburn is our worst.
Really?
It's unreal.
Okay.
The amount of theft. It's sad. I was like, Janelle, we need to get like a security guard just for Woodburn. It would be worth the payroll. Just to stick somebody right there.
And is it like blatant? Like they'll just go take it and walk out?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We've had girls like run after people. Like my sister Kelsey one time when we had a Lancaster store, she actually full blown ran down the entire Lancaster mall like hall because it was a long rectangle.
Yeah.
Chased the girl. And she was like, whatever. So, and you're not allowed to physically touch anybody. So I couldn't like grab your arm and be like, hey, stop. So she like grabbed the items and like ripped them out of her hands and like the girl took off and.
I'd be terrified. Like I wouldn't even think about doing that. But then to be like, you take it and you run and somebody's chasing you, I'd be like, never mind. Never mind. Just
so
kidding.
the people that are stealing, they're not scared. They're seasoned.
That's crazy. Thieves.
Yeah, thieves. I was gonna say thefters.
What do you
Like,
call
wait,
these
Thefters. What do you call these people?
Yeah.
Thieves.
Yeah, they are. They come in. They've got ideas. They have new ways of doing it. We have security tags, but they have ways to beat it. And it's like.
Are they looking for something in particular
No.
that they're selling, or they're just
Nope.
looking for anything they
Yep.
grab?
They're just looking for anything. They don't even get their size. They just buy random take random sizes. And we as soon as we catch them, we try to call the police. We've had lots of successes with the police though. Like they catch them, and they go through the court system, whatever. And we try to get our money back. Most of the time, we probably won't.
Yeah.
It sucks because we have a lot of loss.
Does this end up on like eBay or what? Where's your stuff go?
I'm guessing Facebook Marketplace, honestly.
Really?
I would say a lot of people use that. Back when Facebook Marketplace was first started, we would see a lot of our stuff on there. But we had no way to say, hey, did they actually buy it? Now they're selling their used item or not. So, I mean, loss is a fact of life, and it sucks.
Especially in retail.
Oh, and people don't realize it. And the thing is, they don't realize is that actually affects us. Maybe it doesn't affect a corporation. They can afford, hey, we can lose $50,000 in loss this year. No, not for us. We can't even afford 100. We don't want any loss. And just like, that's one thing I think customers and people don't realize, that owning a boutique is actually very hard.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of downs. A lot. And it's not all wins. So that's the hard thing.
So what would you, if someone was looking to start their own boutique or anything like that, not competition,
Yeah.
but if somebody
Okay.
what would you say would be like the things that you would caution them against, or like advice you would give?
If they had a brick and mortar?
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a boutique, just a business,
Yeah.
any sort of storefront.
I would say just be prepared for mistakes. You're going to make a lot of mistakes and you're going to fail. Most likely you're going to fail. Don't give up. It's going to be hard. You're going to have lots of losses and a couple wins. That's really what it is. But if you don't give up and you keep going, you're going to do great. You rely on your community to help you. And if you don't put in 100% effort, you're not going to go anywhere.
You can't positive attitude on the whole thing though. Like, it's gonna be okay. Like, just fail forward. Like,
yeah. I think my parents, their main thing is you can't be an absentee boss.
Yeah.
You can't. You have to be completely invested. So though I would like to be. I'd like to be like there 50-50,
Yeah.
I'm going on vacation. See you later.
Yeah. Just let me know how it went.
Yeah.
Like,
4
just
stores.
give
I
me
mean,
an
how many
update.
employees do you guys have?
I think 23.
Oh.
But
awesome.
So technically, like January through March are the slowest times of the year. So we don't have enough hours available for girls. So we don't keep a lot of employees at this time. So, and they all want full time. So, and we only need about 2-3 girls working at the same time. So really, if you have 3 girls a day and they all want full time, it's only about 5-6 girls a store. It's really not a lot. And Staten is so small. We only need 1 employee. And her name's Mackenzie, and she's amazing.
Is she the one that's on the social media stuff too?
No, that's Julia. She's actually in charge of, she's our assistant manager in Salem.
Okay.
Like a blonde, curly hair, always in the pictures. Yeah. So Mackenzie's like our stock girl. She's tagging all of our stock, getting it all out, sends it out, and then she's great. She works in the store.
That's awesome.
So what's next? I mean, are you guys going to expand more stores, or what's
honestly,
what's the direction for retail? I guess. I mean, because retail, everybody thinks it's all going away as far as storefronts. At least malls.
Yeah.
It's sad sometimes when you go into malls and you just see things closing down and nothing
sad.
opens back up. But I'm starting to see a lot of like small cities like Staten, Independence.
Yep.
You know, they're revitalizing the downtown, and they're making it look like one of those like pictures. You get the puzzle and you put the picture together. It's like this picturesque little brick and mortar downtown with a bunch of like little tiny shops that people go into.
Yeah, and I think
Is
that's
that the
like
future?
Yeah, and I think that's like what RDS is doing for Staten, the downtown Staten.
Yeah.
But I think that is what it is. I think that malls will essentially probably go away. You know,
Everything's going to that like outdoor.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Even in Oregon, which is
crazy.
Yeah.
That's so
I know.
crazy. But you know, if it was my way, I would try to head toward like Bridgeport, you know, or other. Oh my gosh, what's next to Bridgeport? That town, Lake Oswego.
Mhm.
You know, places like that where they're more of like an outdoor kind of community, and we can get a little store shifted in there somewhere. The malls are tough though; they're really more for kind of like the big box stores, you know, because a big box store ain't gonna go on a side street in Little Staten. They gotta have somewhere for them.
Journeys, Orange
Yeah.
Julius, Ross Dress for
They don't
Less.
have Orange Julius anymore. They all went away.
Did they?
The last one I know of was in Lancaster.
It went away.
Well, I'm sure it did because I
Yeah.
don't even think you can walk in.
You can't walk
Lancaster
in it anymore. I
Yeah.
don't think so. Yeah.
It's so weird to see Lancaster like that now.
It is. It's weird, especially because it's like, wow, we used to go inside.
I know. So I remember my mom tells a story when my brother and I were younger. She's like, we had no money. And so, like, I didn't have anything to do with you guys when you were younger. So, do you remember the fountain that was in there? This is aging me.
In Lancaster?
Lancaster.
Yeah,
so
there
they
was a
used to
fountain.
have, it was this big rectangle fountain that you could like throw pennies in. And so Orange Julius was there. My mom used to take us there.
No way. Yes.
Do you remember it?
Yes.
Yeah. It was like
Oh,
right
yes.
kind of like where, it was like right in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle of the T. Because it was like a T.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we would go in there. My mom would buy a pretzel and cheese and a soda.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
would sit down and we would like throw pennies in and we would like split the pretzel and cheese. My mom would have the soda. She's like, that's all I could afford.
Did your dad
And
know
so-
she was throwing away money like that?
I don't think my dad knew she was throwing away. If he was like, Julie,
Huh.
you're throwing away our pennies.
You know what's
So-
funny is I never went to malls when I was little. Mom just didn't just like drop us off and take us like a lot of mall walkers. I
Yeah.
call them mall walkers.
Mall walkers.
Just kids that roam the mall because they have nothing else to do. There used to be a pet store in there. Do you
There
remember that?
was.
A live pet
Yeah,
store. Like,
with real dogs.
yeah, with cages. You know,
Yeah.
they were all like in
Yes.
little cages. I actually got a dog from there.
I got a bird from there.
What?
Yep. Little
bird.
parakeet.
You had a bird?
I had two of them.
How long did those birds last?
Not
I'm
very
sure.
Never
long,
told me
if I'm
about those
being
birds,
honest.
so I don't know
Yeah,
what's
I
happening with
had I had two little birds, little
That's-
parakeets.
That's great. Were they
Yeah,
like,
they're, like,
super
this big.
loud and irritating?
So they didn't live very long.
Oh, so they're like a goldfish, really.
They kind of were, and so I remember being like, "Well, I bought all this bird supply. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm gonna go get another one." My mom was like, "No, you are not gonna do that." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Well, it's funny now because like Petco like only has like fish,
Yeah.
or maybe lizards and little rodents. But isn't
We
that
used
funny?
to go get puppies.
Yes.
And like, oh,
Oh yeah, we got a basset hound from there.
you got a basset hound
Yeah.
from there?
I think his name was. I don't actually remember. Duke. I was gonna say Duke, but I don't think that's right. Wow, I'm drawing a complete Max and we got a beagle from somewhere else, but I cannot remember what the basset hound's name was now. Douglas? No, I don't know.
Douglas?
I don't think so. It's my sister's dog's name now. I don't know. I want to say Duke, but that is absolutely not right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's just funny how even that mall, how much has changed. And you just think about it, they adapted. Now they're an outdoor mall.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
completely changed. That mall was ghetto.
Oh,
No
I
one
know. It
wanted
was
to go inside
scary.
anymore
Yeah,
anyways.
Yeah.
It was, they needed to make a change.
Yeah.
There were some weird stores going in there.
Mm.
They were reaching, I think, for a while, trying to get some.
Well, they're desperate.
Yeah.
You know, malls got to make money too.
Yeah.
So,
But I feel like the profile of the buyer changed too, because it used to be like that was the only place you could go to get anything, and then all of a sudden you have like online, and
Yep.
people can start shopping online.
Mhm.
And I feel like that even took like a while for people to catch on to, but as soon as they did, what's the point in going to the mall, especially if it's scary?
yep.
You know, when
And you can do free store pickup.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's crazy.
it is. It's crazy. And what's funny is my mom hates shopping online. I think she's bought in
Does
her
she
entire
really?
life 3 things. Yep. She's never shopped online. She thinks it's weird and
She's like, I just want to see somebody.
yeah,
I want to.
she just
I
doesn't
get it
do
with
it.
the clothes. I mean, especially if you're like, I don't know if this is gonna fit right or something
Yeah.
like that, and then you end up taking it back, and then you gotta wait another week for your replacement clothes to come back in. So
Yeah.
I can see why you want to go in and try it out and see, does this actually look good on me? I know it looks good on the who's ever we saw it
Yeah.
online, but was it does it fit what I'm going to...
Yeah.
Well, but I feel like also, like, the times that I've shopped in your store, the girls that work there, they're always so nice. And so
I'm
they're,
glad.
yeah, they
I'm glad
are.
to hear
They're
that.
super nice. They're super helpful. And, you know, you go, there's like stores you go into and it's like you feel like you're out of place when you walk in. And, or like you're being judged by the people there. Like, is this person coming in? And your people are
so glad you
always,
said that.
no, they're so welcoming all the time and like very helpful and like they offer great suggestions and stuff like that. So from the consumer side, I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I've always tried to tell the girls that. I'm like, you don't understand how awkward it is for the customer when they walk in and you're like, cricket, cricket. I'm like,
Yeah.
so now I want to use this. It's proof that you guys actually feel that way. I'm like, I'm telling you, you got to treat every customer as like your friend, your family,
Yeah.
your neighbor. Every
Yeah.
single person. And that's like when I'm on social media, I always pretend I'm talking to my sister Kelsey and my sister Kylie. Always. If I were to sell them this jacket, I'm not going to be like, oh, okay, this jacket it's nice. It's blah, blah. Dude, check this jacket out.
Yeah.
It's so cute. It's comfortable. You
You feel like you're
all
talking
stale.
straight to
Yeah.
somebody, though,
Yeah.
too. But I've been in those stores before where you walk in and the people working there say nothing, and they just kind of look at you awkwardly, and you're like, I gotta go. I gotta go. Like, I need everything in here, but I gotta go.
It's like one of those stores where everything's the same color, and then it's like bare,
Oh, yeah.
minimalistic. type
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Those are hard stores for me to walk into.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can I redisplay this for you guys?
Can I bring my mom over here?
Yeah,
and have her-
like, this is like, who is doing your, this
Yeah, European techno music going in the
Yeah,
background.
seriously, like,
Yeah.
I don't know how some of those stores survive with very minimal clothing in their store. You're
Yeah.
only catering to one customer when you have very small amount of stuff. I do not get it. I don't know how they do it. Because their stuff's really expensive.
They just got to sell one T-shirt
Yeah.
for $1,000 that
That's
day.
exactly right. It's like, hey, this
we met
shirt's-
our minimum.
Seriously, I don't know how they survive, but they're corporations. They got something worked out. I don't even know. Plus, they probably get a better deal on their rent because they're bigger.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But
Well, I love you sharing like all the stuff and kind of your experience and the evolution of the whole thing. It's really neat because, again, I think people look at, like the boutiques and everything like that, and they see all the positive sides of it. They never really hear kind of like what the whole backstory is on how you got there and the challenges you guys face and that sort of thing. So it's cool to hear.
I know. Everyone always thinks like, oh, they must be loaded. They're probably so rich, and it's like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Business.
Yeah,
Small business.
I'm like,
right?
let's emphasize the small,
Yeah.
small business. We're not like freaking millionaires.
I know, but it's
I'm
hard to
close.
stay positive too when you're like, especially if you have like a bad month or a bad quarter or something like that, and like showing up and being like, yay, I'm so excited to be here.
Well, yeah, and then I have to keep my employees employed.
Yeah.
They're depending on us, and I'm like, crap. Am I gonna go in the hole this month because they still need jobs? I need them.
Yeah.
We depend on them. They depend on us. So that's the one thing I think customers don't realize is there's a lot of hard stuff.
Mhm.
Lots of hard stuff. It's not always a win, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Any plugs you want to give to your business before we sign out here?
Mm,
What's your Instagram page again?
West End Boutique Clothing.
Okay.
So how can people support you?
I'm so glad you said that because I was gonna bring that up and I had actually forgot. So you guys can support us completely free. You don't have to spend a dime to support us. Like our social media pages, comment, share it, leave us a review, tell your friend. That's all ways to support us that's free, and that actually helps us.
That's awesome.
So free engagement is very important to us.
So how do they find you on Instagram? What's your handle there?
West End Boutique Clothing,
Okay. Website.
westendboutique.com.
Okay. And you're in Salem Center,
Salem Center,
Staten downtown. Where
Yep.
are you in Albany?
not in Albany.
Or Albany, Eugene.
Woodburn at Woodburn Outlet, Eugene at the Valley River Center Mall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining
Yeah,
us.
thank you, and congratulations on your new podcast.
Thank you. It's exciting. It's fun.
Yeah.
We're
It is fun.
excited.
Yeah, thank you.